Well, there's been an unusual new development with the Seth Rich mystery. He's the former DNC staffer who died suspiciously in D.C. Some people think that he was giving information to WikiLeaks and Julian Assange. So let's take a look at this. The FBI has asked a court for 66 years to release information from his laptop computer that was found. It was set to come out very recently, but the FBI has hit pause on those plans, reversing its order. So Rich was a DNC committee staffer, killed in a street in Washington mid-2016. No one has been arrested in connection to the murder. But U.S. lawyers have said that the ruling was erroneous and that the Bureau shouldn't have to produce the information because of exemptions for information are compiled for law enforcement purposes and could reasonably be expected to disclose the identity of a confidential source. That the lawyers said in a motion for reconsideration. Another exemption which enables agencies to withhold information that would disclose law enforcement techniques also applies. And what's interesting is the FBI claimed it never even possessed Rich's laptop or any information from it, but they finally were forced to acknowledge in 2020 that it had thousands of files from the computer. The Bureau is currently working on getting the files from Seth Rich's personal laptop into a format to be reviewed. So the FBI did not open an investigation into the murder of Seth, nor did it provide investigative or technical assistance to any investigation into the murder. But as a result, the FBI has never extracted the data from the compact disc and never processed the information contained on the disc. If you want to believe that, but to produce the information, the FBI would have to convert it onto a disc into pages and then review the pages to redact information according to the government. And if the judge upholds his order, the FBI wants a lengthy period of time to perform the work. 66 years or 500 pages a month. Really? So now, according to the lawyer, Ty Clevenger says that after dealing with the FBI for 5 years, I now assume that the FBI is lying to me unless and until it proves otherwise. The FBI is desperately trying to hide records about Seth Rich, and that begs the question of why. Exactly, what are they hiding? What would they need 66 years? I mean, it's like the Kennedy assassination. It's like they're waiting for all the guilty parties to die before anybody sees it, and then no one cares anymore because everybody's long dead. 66 years is like a lifetime. So even WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has suggested that Rich leaked the DNC files to WikiLeaks, but special counsel Robert Mueller said the real source was Russian hackers. Everything's Russia, Russia, Russia. Many people think that he was killed by the deep state or the DNC, and now the government is trying to cover it up. And here's another article asking questions about the FBI cover-up, saying it might have something to do with the Mueller report that wanted to say that the computer was hacked by Russians and that it had nothing to do with Seth Rich giving the information to WikiLeaks because they want to keep that narrative that Russia conspired to defeat Hillary Clinton in 2016. Of course, the official story is that the Seth Rich murder was a botched robbery. He was shot twice in the back, but none of the valuable items in his possession were stolen, so it's unlikely that it was a robbery. He didn't have a lot of enemies. He was in a safe neighborhood. Nobody's been arrested or prosecuted. No suspects. No witnesses. And then 6 days after the murder, WikiLeaks published over 19,000 emails and 8,000 attachments from the DNC files. And the emails showed that party officials wanted Clinton over rival Bernie Sanders, and it was known that Seth Rich was a fan of Bernie. Now, Julian Assange has not named the source, but he has hinted that it was Seth Rich. And he has repeatedly said it was the Russian government was not the source. And the people that have looked into this have said it's unlikely that it was hacked by outsiders, and it was most likely an inside job done by somebody like Seth Rich, who was internal and could have put the information on a thumb drive before sending it to Julian Assange, if that actually happened. happened. Of course, as usual, the mainstream media and the leftist internet sites dismissed all these claims as fake news and conspiracy theories. Nothing to see here. Move along. And then the FBI claimed that they didn't have the laptop. And then they said, oh, yeah, I guess we do. And they've been holding on to it for a couple of years. Allegedly haven't looked at it. But now they need 66 years to give that information out. Like, give us a break. The deep state has gone to great lengths to push a certain narrative of this, but it looks like the conspiracy theorists might be right. We're not 100% sure if Seth Rich was the one that did it, but why is the FBI trying so hard to keep this all a secret? So unfortunately, it looks like the mystery continues. We shall see if they release this information. It doesn't look like it's going to happen in front of the election. That would be a very bad, damaging October surprise for the deep state, and they do not want that. A lot of people could get into a lot of trouble, which is why they are probably pushing this thing 66 years into the future to make sure that everyone is long dead and that nobody cares anymore once the information is given to the public. And it'll probably be redacted anyway. So we'll see how it develops. Hopefully we'll get to the bottom of this at some point and soon, but we shall see. But thank you for listening, and we'll catch you next time.